were you around when Daniel Cormier got knocked out by Mike Kyle?
In the gym, yeah, they were. I wouldn't really consider it like a knockout. I mean, he just they were not really goofing off. They were sparring, and Mike Kyle caught him with a good knee. And it was just something that kind of rocked him a little bit, set him back on his heels, but nothing like dropped him where he wasn't out or anything.
You know how it gets with MMA news. Before you know it, you read that he was face down on the floor in a zombie position, you know?
No, everything was good. I mean, he was able to keep sparring. He never went to a knee or anything like that. It was just like one of those moments where, like, oh, no, are you okay? And because it was a clean knee, and Mike wasn't wearing any knee pads, and actually the knee pads had slid down a little bit, like down towards his shin guard. And it was just something that happened. But no, other than that, no, nothing that happened.
Are you surprised that Pat Healey got his shot at Gilbert Melendez?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it's actually good that Healey gets his chance, and I think I think Healey's got a good opportunity in front of him, and it's up to him to capitalize and see if he can do it. I said this before after him and I had fought. I underestimated him a little bit. His style is just a different type of style, and I think people tend to underestimate him because he doesn't look like he's someone that you should be really threatened by, but it's just the way he fights. The way he keeps going, the way he keeps pushing forward. He's got a good chin, and he's a grinder. He's someone that, you feel the weight, you just feel his pressure, and he's got the long, lanky kind of arms, and, he gets the job done. And when you have a guy that goes out there and he knows exactly what his game plan is and he knows how to get it done, I think he's going to be dangerous. I mean, for all those years, Randy Couture, he was never the best athlete. He was never the best striker, He wasn't even really the best wrestler. It was just that he came out with a good game plan. He knew his game, and he knew how to make it work for himself. And look where it got him. And I think Pat Healey's one of those guys, he knows what he's good at, and he's going to stick with that, and he's going to ride it to the grave.
Pat just beat your next opponent, if I remember correctly, Carlos Fodor. And Fodor is... his style reminds me a lot of the old Melendez. Like, he's aggressive, and he just kind of wades in there. From looking at him, do you see the same thing?
Maybe a little bit, but, I really can't take, from what he's done in the past fights, and whether, Healey beat him and, trying to do MMA math and all that other stuff. It just doesn't add up, So I'm looking, I personally believe that this fight is going to be a lot tougher than people give him credit for. I've been training like it's going to be tougher, and I'm expecting it to be, I don't like to throw around the term war, but I'm expecting it to be a really tough fight. I'm expecting it to be a lot tougher than people give him credit for, and I think that a lot of people, I've just been in conversations with even some of the media people, and they're like, oh, well, you're fighting Carlos, and after this fight, are you looking forward to another title shot and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself that, man, this kid is, not only is he tough, but, he's got heavy hands. He looks like he's physically strong. And, and on top of that, honestly, anybody who trains with Matt Hume, they usually come out with a pretty good game plan. And so I look at it, too, as that I'm not only fighting just one person, but I'm fighting two people. I got to fight him and I got to fight his coach. And, his coach is the guy that he has ended up training, in the UFC and then in Dream and all around. They usually come out with good game plans and they find ways to win. Just until recently, I think Carlos was undefeated until this fight, I believe, or 7 or 8-0 or something like that. But to me, I believe it's going to be a lot tougher fight for me than people think, and I'm expecting a tough fight.
Do you think his striking is reminiscent of the old school Melendez?
Yeah, like the aggression-wise, yeah, that's possible. He may try and walk me down. He may try and push me against the fence, but that's something that was to be expected. You've seen him watch his fights.
Right.
He's going to try and walk right at me, and, we'll see where it gets him, but, he's going to come in throwing big punches, and he's going to try and, try and take the center of the ring right away. And so, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to a good fight, and I think he is too. And out of all the guys that I've met, throughout Strikeforce and everyone, he's been very respectful, very great person. Every time I see him, even when he fought one of my teammates, it's like, hey, it's just been a privilege to be, fighting. And he's just a good guy. He seems like a really nice guy, kind of humble and quiet. There's a lot of talk right now about, I guess, apparently his brother got in some trouble or doing something or whatever. But
it's like a superhero, right?
Yeah, I guess. Like, somebody was telling me about it yesterday, and I thought it was a joke. I was like, what the freak?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, he's always been a real respectful, real quiet kind of, humble, and a good guy. And I mean, I like him. I like Matt Healey. The two of them have always been really respectful and nice guys. And so I think it's gonna be a good fight. I love fighting guys that are like that are, that are humble and nice. And it seems somehow it brings the best out of me. And I think just knowing that they're not going to be douchebags, and after if they do beat you or if you beat them, they're not going to be like F you and this and that. I like to fight those guys, those type of guys, and so it's just a common respect. I think mutual respect we have for each other.
You mentioned something that I was going to bring up. You are in a position, it seems like, Josh, that no matter what you do, if you beat a Fodor or you beat a Healey, it automatically, technically puts you as the number one contender. Would you agree that seems to be, you end up there if you win against one of these other top guys?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things I think that needs to happen. I think I need to win this fight. That's the first thing I need to do, and then I think also, I think Gilbert's made it very clear to Strikeforce and to the UFC guys and everybody else that he doesn't want to fight me again. So that being said, if Healey wins, then I may get a title shot, but I have to still beat Fodor.
Right.
The stars all have to align. But not only do I have to beat Fodor, which is going to be a tough task. Healey's got to beat Gil, which is another tough task. So that's talking about the stars having to align. For the two of us to get pretty big wins and be able to fight again with each other. I don't worry about those type of things. I was out at at BJ's camp just 3 weeks ago, and Healey was there, and him and I were like our two main training partners. The two of us, and so there's no disrespect. It's I trained with him for 2 weeks while I was there. There's no secret to what our game plans are. Both of us just looking to win. So hopefully we can help each other get better, and I hope it worked for the two of us, and we got home, and I think we're both now training with our respected camps, and we're just hoping to go out there and get wins that night in Sacramento.
Well, can you give us a little insight, tell us a little bit about what it was like out there at BJ's gym? Because I know a lot of the readers at BJPenn.com follow his blogs and things like that. What was it like in the camp?
Well, I think it was, it was a little bit more relaxed than I would have thought, but only because of the fight had just that, like the day before I got there, the fight had been postponed to December. And so he was really focusing and training hard, and and then I showed up, and he's like, hey, I really appreciate you coming and stuff, but obviously you've heard the fight's been postponed until December, so a lot of the sparring and stuff got put off, but I still had Healey to spar with and work with, I trained a lot with BJ, and I got an opportunity to train with his two brothers, Reagan and JD, and I even got to work with Scotty Bach and some of the guys there, with some other stuff. And it was awesome. I had a great time and a great experience. And, it's just, I think over there having to get used to the humidity and how they train, how they decide, how they want to run the training and stuff. So that was something that was a little different for me. Like, for me, I like a schedule. And for them, they come in today, we're going to do wrestling. And then tonight we're going to grapple. And then, tomorrow we're going to, do bag work, and they kind of make it up on the fly. There's nothing wrong with that. It's always, you gotta always be ready for everything. For me, I like to have like mindless training where I know, like, hey, Tuesday I'm gonna wrestle. Wednesday I'm gonna whatever, spar. It's like I have a set schedule every week. I know what I'm doing. That just makes it a little easier for me. But I thought it was a great opportunity for me to go there and work with, who I consider to be possibly the best lightweight that's ever walked the face of the earth. I think BJ at lightweight has shown in the beginning of his career, and even towards now, like at the lightweight division, I think he's possibly the best one that's ever fought. I think the only question is what BJ are you going to have? Are you going to get the motivated one or the one that who's not motivated? So I think it was great for me to get out there, get some work with him, and we go back a long way. We used to train together here in San Jose at AKA when he first was in the UFC. So that was a great opportunity for me to just get back and get in touch with an old friend.
You brought up Randy Couture earlier. It would seem to me that if Ryan Couture gets a win and you win, Melendez does, then that would probably line up.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, there's probably like me, maybe fighting him or Masvidal. I mean, Masvidal would probably be, a guy for him to fight as well. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I think when you get the upper tier and the upper echelon of fighters, I think, in this organization, and, they're just going to throw guys in front of us, and you just got to beat them. And I can't take anyone for granted, and I gotta fight all the guys they put in front of me. They put them in there, then they put them in there. But like I said, I can't look past Fodor, and I think Fodor's going to be a tough fight.
You told me last time we talked, you straight up said, I'm used to fighting injured, Sean. Are you healthy right now?
You know what? Believe it or not, I am. I'm as healthy as I'm going to get. There is some lingering injuries from the last fight with Gil. But I mean, it's nothing that I haven't been able to work through for this camp, and we're just knocking on wood and just hoping that there's no more injuries that add stacked up on top of this. But I have been able to train. I've been able to train hard. I've been able to do cardio really well, and everything seems like it doesn't seem right. Like I feel like I keep waiting every day, like, okay, when's it gonna happen? But I'm not getting hurt, and so I feel good. It's been awesome. This whole camp's been good.
How happy are you where you're at right now?
What I used to fight for back in 1998 for $150, $300, and I was doing the same thing. Now I'm making all this money. What is there not to be happy about? I mean, you win some, you lose some. Obviously I train hard as I possibly can to get the win, but, I'm not upset over the fact that, I don't care. It's like, if you want to put me in UFC, I'll fight there. You want me to fight in my backyard and we'll just rope it off and you throw somebody out there? Let's do it. BJ and I were talking about this a little bit. It's like, we grew up fighting. I grew up fighting when I was younger. I got a lot of fights. And I was on the street. You don't know what someone's going to do to you. I think if I put it in that perspective, if I get knocked out in the ring, the ref's going to jump in and be like, okay, it's over. You get knocked out on the street. You may get American History X friggin' curb stop. You don't know.
Right.
And so the fact that I'm getting paid, and it's, to me, I consider this about as safe as a real fight as you possibly can, where someone's going to jump in and actually save you. If you're losing or getting knocked out, then, I'm still getting paid. I don't see a problem with it. So I love training. I love being at the gym with the guys. I got a great group of guys that I train with at AK, and I'm happy. I'm happy with everything. So what is there not to like or appreciate about about the situation I'm in? I don't worry about the UFC. I don't worry about Strikeforce. I worry about just fighting. Just worry about winning the fights and let everything else fall into place. It'll take care of itself. You win, everything will take care of itself.